All right, Larry Krueger here from the Pig and a Pickle Krug Show down at Levi's with a little recap of Thursday down here in Santa Clara. Check out Pig and a Pickle, 2 locations, Emeryville and Corte Madera. They're open 7 days a week in both spots from 11 a.m. till 8 p.m. or until they run out. Pig and a Pickle, the best barbecue in all of Northern California. Get the brisket chili. It's all great. Go say hi to Damon and Mary. Tell them that Larry Krueger sent you. All right, Niners getting ready for Dallas. Sunday Night Football, showdown, Clash of Titans, one of the best rivalries in the NFL, rekindled Sunday night in front of a national TV audience. So, a lot of interesting stuff today here in Santa Clara. One, we did see, as far as the guys who practiced, Deebo Samuel was limited on Wednesday, but he did practice today. He's battling a little bit of a rib injury, a little bit of a knee bruise. But he practiced today and expect him to go Sunday night. Juwan Jennings, limited on Wednesday. He practiced today as well. So expect Jennings to go on Sunday night. Brandon Ayuk practiced today. Mooney Ward, who's battling a heel injury, he practiced today. Dre Greenlaw's got a little bit of an ankle injury. Dre practiced. CMC and Trent Williams, who both got rest days off yesterday, the veteran rest day, they were at practice today as well. So who didn't practice? I mean, the Niners are really healthy, relatively healthy, I should say. Well, John Feliciano still in the concussion protocol, so he did not practice today. And Feliciano, I would imagine, won't be able to go. He'll probably be inactive Sunday night. The other guy who I'm not expecting to play Sunday night is Elijah Mitchell. Elijah Mitchell hurt his knee in practice last Thursday. I'm not sure to what degree or exactly what the injury is, but you can expect that J.P. Mason is going to be running back 2 on Sunday night against the Cowboys, not Elijah Mitchell. So the Niners, outside of Mitchell, for the most part, roll into this game relatively healthy, which is obviously a good sign because Dallas is going to be a huge challenge. So what do we expect to see? Are we getting any ideas, wrinkles from talking to the players, talking to the coaches this week? Well, we had a chance today to talk to Steve Wilks and to Chris Forster. I asked Wilks if he expects to see Ceedee Lamb in the slot, and he said, yeah, I do. And that's what Dallas has been doing. To get Ceedee Lamb into better, more advantageous matchups, they're moving him around the formation, and they're using him inside against the slot corner when they feel like they have a mismatch. So I did talk to Steve Wilks about it. He says he expects to see Ceedee Lamb in the slot. And then I went in the locker room and I talked to Isaiah Oliver, and you can look at that interview on my YouTube page. Oliver's a great guy to talk to, very cerebral player, and he also agreed. He said, I expect to see Ceedee Lamb in the slot on Sunday night, and he expects to be matched up against Ceedee Lamb. So Lamb's the big play threat in that Dallas offense, and Oliver's going to draw that assignment a lot, you would think, on Sunday night. Now, what are we going to look at as far as the Niners on offense? What do you expect to see? If this game is anything like the game that we saw, the playoff game that we saw last year against the Cowboys, then, the first half of that game, the Niners tried to run it to the edges on Dallas. And Dallas's collective team speed kind of snuffed it out. 49ers in that playoff game averaged 2.5 yards per carry on perimeter runs. And in the second half, the Niners went from more of a perimeter running attack to, we're going to run right through you, more of a power run scheme. And they ran a lot more power in the second half, and they had a lot more success. The 49ers averaged 4.1 average per carry on power runs. So that was really the emphasis. First half, a lot of running to the edges, 2.5 yards a carry. Second half, more power runs. We're going to run right through them, 4.1 a carry. So will we see more power runs? Will we see more J.P. Mason, who's a big back and can absolutely run over you? You think of the way that James Conner a couple weeks ago averaged 7.2 yards per carry against the same Dallas defense. He ran through a lot of arm tackles. J.P. Mason is a similar size back. He runs with a lot of power. I'll be very interested to see Sunday night if we see J.P. Mason on power runs running through Dallas arm tackles. That also takes a chance that he's going to put it on the carpet because he's more apt to fumble than Christian McCaffrey or Elijah Mitchell. But we'll see if the Niners risk it. I expect Mason to get the ball a little bit on Sunday night, and obviously you don't want to see him fumble. Another interesting angle going back to last year's matchup in the playoffs. Brock Purdy, 80% of Brock Purdy's throws against Dallas last year in the playoff game were in-breaking routes in the middle of the field. And that was last year, but I think you might want to expect more of the same in this game. Why? I was looking at some of the numbers. Dallas is number 1 in defensive DVOA on passes to the left. They are number 1 in defensive DVOA on passes to the right. But Dallas falls to 27th in the NFL in defensive DVOA on passes up the middle. So expect the 49ers to, burn Dallas in the pass game in the short, intermediate, and deep middle of the field. I think you're going to see the 49ers with lots of crossing routes. Ayuk runs that route with conviction. So does Deebo. Ayuk, by the way, has not dropped a single pass. The number of passes they've thrown him this year are the number of passes he's caught. How about that? Every pass that Brock Purdy has thrown Brandon Ayuk in the regular season through the first month of the year, Brandon Ayuk has caught. And I bring this up because this is a consistent theme that we saw all summer. Brandon Ayuk's ball skills and catch radius are massive. This guy catches everything. When the ball's in the air, he acts like it's his personal, it's meant for him and only him. I mean, this guy was a great receiver before this year, but this year he's taken it to a totally different level. He acts like every ball in the air is meant for him. And I think you're going to see a lot of crossers with Ayuk in this game, and I would expect Brock Purdy to hit a number of big pass plays right in the middle of the field. And the other factor in this game that I think could be a key factor, even though we don't talk about it a lot, and that is punting, the punting game. Mitch Wishnowsky has dropped 8 of 11 punts inside the opponent's 20-yard line. He has been a phenomenal target player this year as far as if you want to drop one in the bucket and force them into long fields, and that, of course, is always the best way to play. If you want to win football games against great teams, often you have to play complementary football. That means your offense has to complement your defense, your special teams have to be involved as well. If the 49ers can get Wishnowsky to pin Dallas inside their 10-yard line, even once or twice in the game, and give them long fields, I'll take my chances. I'll take my chances with the 49ers defense against the Cowboy offense if the Cowboys don't have good field position. Cowboys get by on a lot of negative plays. They're really good at creating negative plays through their defense, through pressure. If you don't give them turnovers and you don't give them negative plays and you can punt and down it inside the 15-yard line and make them travel the whole length of the field against this Niner defense. One, I think the Niner defense is better. But two, I also think Dallas makes a lot of mistakes. They'll make penalties. They'll fall behind the chains. It will be advantage 49ers. So that's a major key. And the other number that really jumps out is the Niners punt return coverage unit has been really strong this year. They've allowed just 16 return yards in 4 games. So you punt the ball. If you don't make it on 4th down, you punt. Wishnowsky sticks it inside the 20. Your coverage units are down there to make plays. Give them long fields for them to drive the length of the field. And if they can do it, then you tip your cap to them and you move on to week 6. If they can't, I'll take my chances with the Niner defense against this Cowboy offense if the Cowboys don't get premier field positions set up by their defense, set up by turnovers, set up by huge negative plays. And for Brock Purdy, it's to play poised. The other thing that's really clear looking at the numbers, the Niners do not keep to this point, in the first month of the year, have not kept George Kittle and Kyle Juszczyk in to block very often. In this game, that may change. The Niners may have Kittle in blocking to compensate for the fact that Dallas has 7 different players that have at least 6 pressures. They don't do it just with Parsons. Lawrence is big time. Big Osa in the middle is outstanding. Dorrance Armstrong, Dante Fowler. I mean, they have a lot of guys who can rush the passer. So play the field position game. No question about it. Maybe keep Kittle in to block a little bit more and don't have 5 out in the pattern like the Niners have done all year. They've put their offensive line on an island all year. Target that middle of the field in the pass game. If you're Brock Purdy, run the heck out of the football. Don't turn it over. Maybe a little bit more power runs. Run it right at Dallas's speed-based defense, and dominate the time of possession. Keep your defense on the field, on the sideline, and they'll have more energy in the fourth quarter. So it's Dallas week. Should be interesting. Expect Deebo and Ayuk and Mooney and Greenlaw and CMC and Trent and Juwan Jennings. They're all going to go. Only Elijah Mitchell is likely not to play. And it's going to be the game of the week in the NFL, one of the games of the year. All right, hope you enjoyed our Thursday breakdown here in Santa Clara. Thanks to Pig and a Pickle for being the title sponsor of The Krug Show. Thanks to all you guys for supporting The Krug Show on YouTube.